This is Nightline and I'm Liyana Hassanel. News making the headlines. Floods worsen in Kelantan, Terengganu and Pahang. And massacre in Gaza as scores killed in Israeli strikes. Good morning. The Christmas spirit is felt nationwide on Monday as Christians gather to celebrate the festive holiday together, while also being cautious about the spread of COVID-19. Despite concerns about the country's increasing COVID-19 cases, Malaysians of the Christian faith were not deterred from hosting open houses and visiting family, relatives and friends to preserve the Muhibbah spirit. For Dr. Florence John, a coordinator from the Sacred Heart Church at Jalan Pil Maluri in Kuala Lumpur, Christmas is not just a celebration among family members. It also serves to strengthen the bonds between friends, neighbors and community, regardless of race and religion. Thus, it has become an annual routine for her to host an open house and serve delicious Christmas dishes for her guests. However, she has taken extra precautions this year to ensure that COVID-19 would not dampen the joyous celebration by observing some of the standard operating procedures practiced during the pandemic. One of the measures is dividing her open house into a daytime session for family members and an evening session for friends.
Khas siapa yang datang makan kawan semua, macam malam ini dari pukul 7 kita ada 20 orang. And then pukul 9 kita ada 30 orang. Nanti pukul 11 lagi 20 orang. So kita jaga lain orang. So jangan bagi merebak.
Meanwhile, Muhammad Faisal Abdullah, Dr. Florence's younger sibling, said that despite his conversion to Islam, he would continue the tradition of visiting his family members during the festive celebration.
Setiap tahun memang kita kunjung-mengunjung ke mak kakak adik-beradik ini memang dari sana praktis dari kecil. Menu-menu yang saya memang minat adalah kari kambing dan juga masakan-masakan yang biasalah.
His wife, Aida Safia Muhammad Arifin, also agrees that the Muhibbah spirit in Malaysia is not just about a melting pot of different ethnicities, religions and cultures, but also a unique aspect and strength of the country.
Kita bertuah sebab masyarakat kita majmuk, kita boleh merayakan bersama-sama merayakan macam-macam jenis perayaan. Jadi kalau hari ini hari Christmas, saya beraya di rumah in-law saya dan juga kakak ipar saya. Kalau raya, saya datang rumah dia dengan jamuan raya. So dia dapat rasa makanan mak saya.
Demokrasi terus dimanifestasi. Transisi, revolusi, integriti. Episod tragis dan emosi. Memacu matlamat, mengukir legasi. Imbasan 2023, Sabtu 30 Disember, hanya di TV3.
Dan stream HD secara langsung ditonton.
An 11-year-old girl drowned and another has gone missing after falling into a river at Kampung Petai Dusun near Rantau Panjang, Kelantan on Sunday evening. Pasir Mas Deputy Police Chief Superintendent Nik Aminuddin Raja Abdullah said the search and rescue SAR operation to locate the missing victim, Nur Damia Kaisara Muhammad Sabri, is still underway. The Fire and Rescue Department received an emergency call about the incident at about 6:39 p.m. on Sunday, and a team of firefighters from the Rantau Panjang Fire Station rushed to the scene. According to a witness, the two victims slipped into the river and were swept away by the current in the blink of an eye. It was also learned that Nur Damia's father, 33-year-old Muhammad Sabri Muhammad Nur, immediately jumped into the river to search for the children after being informed about the incident. After more than 30 minutes of searching, he only managed to find one of the victims, who is also her daughter's friend, Siti Aisyah Mazi. However, she was later pronounced dead while being treated at Tanah Merah Hospital. In Selangor, police arrested another 5 suspects in connection with the discovery of a man's body buried behind a residence in Sungai Choh, Rawang on Saturday. Acting Gombak Police Chief Superintendent Nur Arifin Muhammad Nasir on Monday said the suspects who were detained on Sunday comprised 3 men and 2 women aged between 19 and 45. According to authorities, the first arrest was made at Desa Amanpuri apartment, where investigators picked up 2 women and a man at 4:40 p.m. Another man was then detained 6:15 p.m. at Pusat Perdagangan Alam Jaya, Bandar Puncak Alam, while the last suspect, also a man, was arrested at 11 p.m. in Sungai Choh. All 5 suspects have been remanded for 7 days to facilitate police investigations under Section 302 of the Penal Code. The latest arrests brings the total number of individuals detained in the murder investigation to 8. Investigations have also determined that the victim's girlfriend was not involved in the case, and speculations that the murder was linked to a lewd video of the woman were untrue. A post-mortem on the victim has been completed, revealing signs of injury, wounds, and bruising on the head and the entire body. Police are now waiting for the laboratory test results to confirm the cause of death. Earlier, it was reported that police nabbed 2 men and a woman after the body of a local man was discovered buried in a hole in the bushes near a house in Sungai Choh. This after a report was received from a woman claiming she had overheard her neighbor's conversations, including a plan on how to dispose of the body. The flood situation in Kelantan, Terengganu and Pahang has worsened, with more victims placed in relief centres on Monday night. As of 11 p.m., a total of 18,199 people have been evacuated, with 190 flood relief centres opened. In Kelantan, the number of flood victims increased to 11,959 people, compared to 19,721 recorded earlier at 8 p.m. According to the Kelantan State Disaster Management Secretariat, JPBN, a total of 79 relief centres were opened, involving 6 districts, namely Kuala Krai, Tanah Merah, Pasir Mas, Gua Musang, Machang and Jeli. The water levels of the 4 main rivers in the state, namely Sungai Kelantan and Sungai Nal in Kuala Krai, Sungai Golo in Tanah Merah, as well as Sungai Golo in Rantau Panjang, Pasir Mas, were also at a dangerous level. In Terengganu, the third wave of flooding has gotten worse, as the number of victims had increased to 5,528 people, compared to 2,281 in the morning. All the victims were relocated to 95 relief centres in 6 districts in Dungun, Besut, Hulu Terengganu, Kemaman, Setiu and Marang. In Pahang, the number of flood victims also rose to 708 people from 600 in the morning. The victims have been placed at 15 relief centres in Raup and Lipis. Meanwhile, the Malaysian Meteorological Department, Met Malaysia, has issued a warning of dangerous continuous heavy rain in several areas in Kelantan and Terengganu until Tuesday. In a statement, the agency stated that the continuous heavy rain warning of danger level in Kelantan involves areas in Tumpat, Pasir Mas, Kota Baru, Jeli, Tanah Merah, Bachok, Machang, Pasir Putih and Kuala Krai. It added that the same warning was also issued for several areas in Terengganu, namely in Besut, Setiu and Hulu Terengganu. Met Malaysia also issued severe rain warning in Kelantan, involving the Gua Musang area, while in Terengganu it covers the areas of Kuala Nerus, Kuala Terengganu, Marang, Dungun and Kemaman. It also issued a warning of continuous rain for several areas in Kedah, Perak, Pahang and the whole of Perlis until Tuesday. Thousands affected as floods hit southern Thailand. News from the foreign front when we return. As the Zionist regime's atrocities intensifies and showing no signs of abating, more than 250 Palestinians, mostly women and children, were killed in the past 24 hours, and about 500 others have been left wounded. Despite calls for a pause in fighting by world leaders, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stressed that they would not stop the war on Gaza. According to officials, at least 70 Palestinians were killed in Israel's recent airstrike on Maghazi refugee camp, while another attack in Khan Yunis in southern Gaza claimed the lives of 23 Palestinians. Over in West Bank, at least 35 people were detained by the Zionist regime in overnight raids. To date, the death toll both in Gaza and the occupied West Bank have surged to more than 20,674 Palestinians, with 54,536 others left wounded. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization (WHO) on Sunday expressed grave concerns over the destruction of the health system in the war-torn Gaza Strip, adding that if the health system collapses, it would result in a tragedy. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus then called for an immediate ceasefire from all parties involved in the conflict, while also hailing Gaza's medical workers who continued their duties under increasingly dire circumstances. According to the latest data released by the United Nations last Thursday, only 9 out of the 36 hospitals in the region are partially operational and are struggling to cope with the overwhelming demands. Despite the surge in healthcare needs, only 38% of hospital beds are currently available in Gaza, while only 30% of healthcare workers are able to continue their work. Despite this, hospitals, protected under international humanitarian law, have repeatedly been hit by the Zionist regime strikes since the war erupted. People donned Santa caps on beaches and streets around the globe on Monday to celebrate Christmas, with Israel's war on Hamas and Russia's invasion of Ukraine casting a shadow over one of the world's favorite holidays. In countries not afflicted by war, however, festive revelers opened presents and donned the red and white Santa hats for a shot of holiday cheer. In the U.S., thousands descended on Florida's Cocoa Beach for the annual Surfing Santa celebration that raises funds for a charity helping cancer patients travel for treatment and the local surf museum. Meanwhile, thousands of people dressed as Santa Claus ran through Spain's central Madrid in a traditional charity race to raise money for the Red Cross. Children dressed as elves in green robes also took part in the 5-kilometer race along Madrid's Paseo de la Castellana Avenue. Over in Mexico, Oaxacans savored ornate taproot sculptures during the traditional Night of the Radishes. Each year, artists and gardeners gathered the day before Christmas Eve to exhibit radishes intricately carved into designs reflecting themes from religion to daily life. In India, artist Sudarshan Patnaik unveiled a sand art sculpture at Eastern Puri Beach, depicting a reclining Santa Claus and incorporating 2,000 kilograms of onions. Sudarshan claims it is the biggest and probably the only onion and sand sculpture of Father Christmas in the world, measuring 30 meters long, 6 meters high, and 12 meters wide. In Thailand, floods caused by intense rainfall have affected tens of thousands of people in the country's deep south on Monday, with some roads and railway lines forced to close. Officials said at least a dozen of schools have been forced to close, while more than 9,000 households have been affected by floods in the provinces of Kuala and Narathiwat. At least 14 train services to and from Sungai Kolot station had also come to a halt due to the flooding, prompting authorities to warn residents in the provinces to be ready to evacuate if the floods get worse. Radcliffe completes Manchester United deal. Sports after this breather. United ownership saga has finally reached a major milestone as India's founder Sir Jim Ratcliffe completed a deal worth about $1.5 billion with the Glazer family to acquire a 25% stake in the club. The deal will see Ratcliffe and India's sporting director Sir Dave Brailsford take control of football operations at the club, while the Glazers retain their majority control. In a statement, he said he will bring expertise and talent from the wider India sport group to help drive further improvement at United, while also providing funds intended to enable future investment into Old Trafford. Prior to this, Ratcliffe expressed an interest in investing in United back in January and faced competition from Qatari businessman Sheikh Jassim Hamad Al Thani, whose bid, reported to be worth around £5 billion, was rejected by the Glazers before he withdrew from the process. The withdrawal paved the way for Ratcliffe, one of the UK's richest men and a lifelong United fan, to negotiate a deal that would allow him and Brailsford to take charge of football matters. Still on football, the UAE Pro League. Caio Canedo slotted decisive goal as Al Wasl defeated Championships Shahab Al Ahli 2-1 away at Rashid Stadium on Sunday. Guilherme Bala opened the scoring for Al Ahli in the 8th minute when he fired a powerful shot in front of the goal. The visitors fought back and found the equaliser in the 39th minute when Haris Seferovic headed in a perfect cross from winger Ali Saleh. However, just before full-time, substitute Canedo scored the winner in the 86th minute after receiving an inviting through ball inside the box. With the win, Al Wasl lead the standings with 30 points, 6 points ahead of third-placed Al Ahli. After this short breather, woman found stabbed to death. Johor, 2 foreign nationals were arrested on suspicion of being involved in the murder of a 41-year-old female foreign national in a house in Taman Ongku Tun Aminah, Johor Bahru, early Sunday morning. Johor Bahru Utara Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Balveer Singh Mahindar Singh said one of the suspects, a 41-year-old woman, was nabbed at her house, while a 24-year-old man was detained at a garbage disposal site in the respective residential area. Both arrests were made less than 24 hours after police received a report from the public about the murder at 4:35 a.m. on the same day of the incident. A knife was also seized at the crime scene by authorities. Based on initial investigations, the victim was believed to have been stabbed to death with a sharp object at about 2:30 a.m. It was also revealed that one of the male suspects is the victim's sibling. However, police were still investigating the motive of the incident. The probe is being carried out under Section 302 of the Penal Code. Police have arrested 171 Bangladeshi men who were seen marching together in Kota Tinggi, Johor, in a video that went viral on social media since Sunday night. Kota Tinggi Police Chief Superintendent Hussein Zamora said the incident occurred last Wednesday and the group was detained on the same day after a report was received from the Malaysian Armed Forces. According to Hussein, the group was heading towards Bayu Damai police station to lodge a report, claiming they had been deceived by the recruitment agents who failed to provide them jobs as promised. It was understood that all the foreign nationals entered the country legally, but have not received any work for about 3 to 6 months. The Bangladeshi men aged between 19 and 43 were then handed over to Setia Tropika Immigration Department for further investigation under the Immigration Act. In the 1-minute and 33-second viral video, a car driver was shocked to encounter a large group of foreign men walking in a long line in the Bayu Damai area in Teluk Ramunia, which sparked concerns among the public over the overwhelming presence of foreign nationals.
Fail Mahkamah merungkai kes-kes tergempar Malaysia. Laporan, siasatan serta prosiding kes yang telah dibicara ke muka pengadilan. Rangkuman kes-kes berprofil tinggi yang telah dipaparkan dalam fail mahkamah sepanjang 2023.
Now, despite many have left to celebrate Christmas in their hometowns, Kuala Lumpur remained as a hub of festive cheer. This as the Christmas holiday and school break have spurred a surge in visitors to its iconic spots and popular attractions. Our reporter Alif Yunus has the story.
Among the reasons that attracted the holiday crowds to the federal capital was the impressive Christmas decorations and events at the huge shopping malls across the city. Tourists coming from various parts of the world also shared their experiences, expressing delight at the city's festive ambience.
Some of the things are pretty similar to Europe, so you get the Christmas trees and all that stuff, so that's pretty similar to how we celebrate Christmas. But of course the heat and the missing the snow and stuff like that, and it's very hot, so that's different.
I see. And so far, are you guys having a good time here?
Yes, of course. So very friendly people, very helpful. If you need something, they ask for it, so pretty cool.
Kuala Lumpur, it's very nice. It's very like funny, Christmas mood, you know. But we were in Langkawi and Penang, and it's more like calm cities, which is also great to visit. But it's not like Christmas mood as in Kuala Lumpur.
While many relished the extended holidays and engaged in various leisure activities across the city, some remain cautious due to the increasing COVID-19 cases in the country.
Well, I guess because of COVID-19, that most of our family members are travelling with more precautions. They are definitely wearing masks wherever they go, mask shopping and all that. And we are also social distancing ourselves, mostly staying at home. Yeah, and our parents and our elders, we keep them at home lah. Try not to expose them to the outside air.
Planning for New Year's Eve is also in full swing, with locals and tourists alike making plans for special countdown events and gatherings.
I have like a few places that I love to go during like a long break. Usually I went to Bukit Bintang or Genting, and what I did is I will just drinking with my friends and going out. And what I look forward in this like New Year event is I want to watch firework with my friends.
Untuk masa sekarang tak ada lah, tapi maybe tahun depan dengan family nak pergi Thailand sebab kat sana duit rendah sikit kan dari Malaysia, so plan dengan family nak pergi Thailand lah.
The clear evening skies also allowed Malaysians to experience a touch of winter magic, enhancing the festive Christmas atmosphere with artificial snow shows around the iconic Petronas Twin Towers. Amidst the holiday rush and excitement, Christmas joy and year-end celebration blend seamlessly, creating a vibrant tapestry of at its best. Alif Yunus, Nightline, TV3.
Sabahans, the extended Christmas holidays are not only a time for returning to their respective hometowns in the outskirts and rural areas, but also for attending open houses. This, as Christmas open houses has always been one of the platforms to foster togetherness and harmony among the people in the state. This was evident at the 2024 Christmas and New Year open house jointly organized by Parti Bersatu Sabah, PBS, and Parti Solidarity Tanah Airku STAR on Monday. Sabah yang di-Pertuan Negeri Tun Juhar Mahiruddin also attended the event held at Kadazan Dusun Cultural Association KDCA Hongkot Khoisaan Hall in Penampang. The guests also comprised of tourists and people from different races, especially the Kadazan Dusun Murut community in the area. Elsewhere in Sarawak, the Christmas celebration was also lively, albeit on a more moderate scale. To mark the festive occasion, people from all walks of life gathered at the Bishop of Kuching Christmas Open House at St. Thomas's Cathedral in Kuching on Monday, despite the drizzling rain. Also present was Sarawak Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Abang Openg and his wife Puan Sri Jumaani Tun Tuanku Bujang. Aside from enjoying Christmas dishes together, the guests were also entertained by singing performances. As we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look at China's first domestically built large cruise ship, the Adora Magic City, which started its first trial voyage by sailing from Shanghai. With that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching Nightline, and be well, Malaysia.